Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to another important current event session for the ESIC 2021 Deputy Director exam, and I hope that all of you are healthy and preparing well for our upcoming exams. And when we talk about today's discussion, then today we are going to discuss the important MCQs for the current event session of ESIC 2021 Deputy Director exam. But before beginning the session, if you are new to your YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of the sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So let's move on to the session. Let's get started. And here is the very first question which is on your screen, and all of you are requested to answer this question in the comment section below. So this particular question is basically about a report which was being launched recently, that is the global analysis of the healthcare waste in the context of COVID-19, and what you are required to do in this particular question. See, the demand of the question is that you are required to identify the correct statement in relation with this particular report. So the very first statement says that it has been released by the World Health Organization, and basically this report is about the additional COVID-19 healthcare waste which is being generated after the arrival of COVID-19, and it describes the current healthcare waste management systems and their deficiencies. The third point states that as per the report, the 30% of the healthcare facilities are not equipped to handle the medical waste which is being generated after the COVID-19 pandemic. So which one of the following statements are correct in relation with the report which was being launched recently and titled as the global analysis of the healthcare waste in the context of COVID-19? See, this particular report was basically launched in order to quantify and see that whether we are able to manage the waste which is being generated after the arrival of COVID-19, and for this particular part only, and to analyze as well as to impact and to give out the recommendation that how we can improve the healthcare waste management sector. For this particular reason, this particular report was being released. And now, my dear learners, when we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. So let's move on to the report and let's see that what exactly are the key important points that you are required to remember from this particular report. So here we have already discussed the title of the report and why this particular report was being released, that is to provide the status, impact and recommendations about the healthcare waste management sector all over the world after the arrival of COVID-19 pandemic. And now the most important part comes is that which organization was basically behind the launch of this particular report. So it was World Health Organization. And now when we talk about, see, before discussing that what exactly were the findings, what exactly the biomedical waste is all about. See, this biomedical waste is defined as any waste which is generated during the diagnosis, treatment or immunization of the human beings or the animals, as well as the research activities, production or testing of the biologicals. Okay, this includes the syringes, needles, the body parts of humans, etc., which are just the waste which is being generated during the diagnosis or the treatment or the immunization. And now, my dear learners, when we talk about the key important findings of this particular report, then this report states that over 140 million test kits which were having a potential of producing 2600 tons of non-infectious waste, as well as 731,000 liters of the chemical waste which was being shipped to deal with the COVID-19. Okay, and apart from that, we all know that vaccination programs are going all over the world, and in India also it was one of the largest vaccination program which has been undertaken. And when we talk about this particular part, this report also says that over 8 billion doses of the vaccines have been administered globally, which must have produced 1,44,000 tons of additional waste in the form of syringes, needles and the safety boxes. And apart from that, this report also tells that whether how much amount of the healthcare facilities all over the world were able to equipped with to handle the medical waste. And that's why it says that the 30% of the total healthcare facilities all over the world are not equipped to handle the medical waste. They don't have the infrastructure facilities to handle this particular medical waste which is being generated after the arrival of COVID-19 pandemic. And out of these 30% of the healthcare facilities, the 60% of them were in the least developed countries only. So my dear learners, that was all about from this particular report. And now when we talk about India, that what exactly was the daily biomedical waste generation in India during the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, then it was total of 710 metric tons, out of which 101 metric tons was due to COVID-19 and 609 metric tons was a regular biomedical waste. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. Here the total available capacity for the incineration of the COVID-19 waste is being given here. You can see that. And now, my dear learners, when we talk about that rules which basically governs the biomedical waste management in India, then this was Biomedical Waste Management Rules 2016. So kindly go through it, as it is also very important for all of you to remember. Now we are moving towards the next question of the today's session, and it is here on your screen, and this is very basic question, and the question is about the one of the recently launched missions of the NASA. Okay, so the question states that the NASA has recently launched the NASA's Laser Communication Relay Demonstration and a NASA US Naval Research Laboratory Ultraviolet Spectrochronograph Pathfinder. And here you are just required to tell me that this UVSA Pathfinder, that is Ultraviolet Spectrochronograph Pathfinder, will study about what? Whether it is about the solar energetic particles, or about the climate changes which are being taken place all over the world, or the forecasting upcoming natural disasters, or the presence of water. So do tell me the answer in the comment section below, that what exactly this UVSA Pathfinder is going to study about. And the right answer to this question is option A, that is the origins of solar energetic particles. So for basically studying the origins of the solar energetic particles, this UVSA Pathfinder project has been recently launched by NASA. So let's when we talk about the details of here, then here you can see that UVSA Pathfinder is going to study about the origins of the solar energetic particles. And while we talk about the LCRD, that means Laser Communication Relay Demonstration, then it is going to demonstrate the first two-way laser relay communication system, which is going by sending and receiving data over the invisible infrared lasers. So that was all from this particular part that you are required to remember. Okay, now we are moving towards the third question of the today's session, and the third question is here on your screen, and it is once again a very important question. See, recently the union budget was being released, and my dear learners, in the budget they have discussed about this particular program, that is raising and accelerating MSME performance. And in this particular question you are required to tell me that which one of the following statements are correct with respect to this particular ramp program. Okay, so do answer the question in the comment section below, that which one of the following statements are correct regarding the ramp program. So the very first statement says that it will be rolled out basically to improve the accessibility of formal sources of finance to the MSMEs. The second statement says that it will be rolled out with an outlay of 6,000 crores over a period of 5 years. And the third statement says that in June 2021, the World Bank has approved a loan of US $500 million to assist the ramp program. So my dear learners, I want to tell you that all these statements which are being mentioned here about the ramp program are correct, and that's why the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. So when we talk about this raising and accelerating MSME performance program, see, this particular program was basically launched in order to revive the MSME sector, which is being badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we all know that what exactly was the result. So my dear learners, that was the reason that in order to improve the market access and the access to the credit strengthening institutions and governance at the central and state level, this particular program was being launched. Okay, so this particular program is also going to support the ongoing support programs of the government, which focuses on the competitive aspect of the MSMEs. So my dear learners, when we talk about this particular program, then in the last year, in June 2021, World Bank has already approved a loan of USD 500 million in order to assist the government of India's ramp program. So basically this particular program was being discussed during the union budget recently launched by the government of India. And now my dear learners, that was all from this particular part, and here you can see the snippet which has been directly taken from the union budget 2020 to 2023, and here you can see the different projects which were being taken in order to accelerate, enhance the growth of the MSME sector in India. And this rolling out of the ramp program is one such step which has been taken by the government, and this particular steps are going to make these MSME sector in India the resilient, competitive, as well as more efficient than before. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. See, these kind of programs, schemes, projects, missions which are being launched by the government, they are really very important from the exam point of view. And that is the reason that we have brought such kind of all such projects, programs, schemes and missions in this particular session, so that it will be really easy for all of you to answer the questions which are based on them in the exam. Okay, so now let's move on to the fourth question of the today's session, which is here on your screen, and the question is, which country has recently assumed the chairmanship of the Council of Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization for 1 year from October 28, 2021? See, recently there was a change in the chairmanship of the RATS SCO. Okay, and here you are required to tell me that which country has assumed the chairmanship for year 2021, whether it was India, China, Indonesia or UAE. So do answer the question in the comment section below, that what exactly is the right answer to this question. And my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option A, that is India, as India has assumed the chairmanship of RATS SCO. And when we talk about, see, this particular question was very easy for all of you if you just know that what exactly is the name of the SCO members, how many members are there, and what exactly are the name of those members, that is India, China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, Pakistan and Uzbekistan. And my dear learners, when we talk about the year 2021, Tajikistan was having the chair for RATS SCO, but when we talk about the RATS SCO for next year, then it is going to be India, which has assumed the chairmanship of Council of Regional Anti-Terrorist Structure of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. Now let us move on to the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. And the next question is about one of the recent documents which are being released by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, that is the Spices Statistics at a Glance 2021. So basically this particular book was being released by the Union Minister for the Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. And here in this particular question, once again the demand of the question is to identify the correct statement in relation with this particular book. So basically these three statements are giving some information about this particular book, that what exactly was being given in this book and what exactly were the different findings of this particular book. And you are required to analyze all these three statements about this particular part and then tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer. And my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. That means all the given statements which are being mentioned here about the Spices Statistics at a Glance 2021 are correct. So now when we discuss this particular part, here you can see that the Spices Statistics at a Glance 2021, see, basically it was being published by the Directorate of Agriculture and Spices Development, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and this DASD is also the nodal agency for the collection and compilation of area as well as the production estimates of the spices. So basically, as the name suggests, this particular booklet is all about the spices. It tells us about basically that what exactly was the production of the spices in India from 2014-15 to 2020-2021. Apart from that, it also mentions about the annual growth rate. So basically when we talk about this particular booklet, it is a compendium of all the spices statistics, that is area, production, productivity, export, import, price and value of the outputs of the various spices which are being produced in India. So when we talk about the key findings of this particular booklet, then here you can see that this book tells us that the spices production in India for year 2014-15 was 67.64 lakh tons, which has increased to 106.79 lakh tons in year 2020-2021. And when we talk about the annual growth rate of the spice production, then it was found to be 7.9%. And when we talk about the area under the spice production, which has been increased from 32.24 lakh hectares to 45.28 lakh hectares. So here's some important data about the exports of these spices from India are also being mentioned here. You can go through them for your own for the value addition. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. And the next question is about the world's first floating city, which is going to be established by 2025, for which Busan Metropolitan City Oceanics as well as the United Nations Human Settlement Program UN Habitat have signed an MOU. And my dear learners, now the question is that in which country this particular world's first floating city will be established, whether it is South Korea, Japan, Australia, North Korea. See, this is once again a very unique initiative taken by that particular country, and here you are just required to identify the name of the country where this particular city will be established. So now the right answer to this question is option A, that is South Korea. So basically the world's first floating city on the coast of the Busan in South Korea will be completed by year 2025, and for its construction 3 organizations have signed an MOU. A tripartite MOU has been signed between the Busan Metropolitan City, UN Habitat as well as Oceanics. And here the estimated cost has also been mentioned. Here you can just see that particular part. Now the main important point that you were required to remember from here is that this particular world's first floating city will be established in South Korea, and what are the entities which have signed an MOU for the establishment of this particular city is also being discussed by here. Okay, so now I hope that this is very much clear to all of you, and now let's move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is once again about a very important project which is being recently launched, that is Project Amber. And here Amber stands for Accelerated Mission for Better Employment and Retention. So basically, as the name suggests, this particular project will be about the better employment opportunities. So my dear learners, once again you are required to answer the question by identifying the correct statements among these which are being mentioned here about the Project Amber. So kindly answer the question in the comment section below. The very first statement says that it is being jointly launched by NSDC and Generation India Foundation. The second statement says about the aim of this particular project, that is to develop and implement a scalable and sustainable model of the skill development which supports inclusive growth. And the third statement says that as a part of this particular project, the target is to train 30,000 youth, of which 50% whom will be women. So I want to tell you that all these particular statements about the Project Amber are correct, and the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. So when we talk about this Project Amber, see, this was recently jointly launched by the National Skill Development Corporation and the Generation India Foundation. Okay, and basically it is being launched to drive higher quality skills, improve employment and retention outcomes. This project will be supported by BlackRock Foundation and the McKinsey and Company. And now when we talk about that, what exactly is the target under this particular project, it is to train 30,000 youth, among which 50% will be women. And the training under this particular project, which will be provided to the youth of India, it will be conducted in the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Kendras across 70 districts in the COVID resilient job roles. And what exactly are these roles? See, these roles basically are identified under the project like General Duty Assistant, the Junior Full Stack Developer, Retail Sales Associate, and all such particular roles will be assigned, and for which this particular youth will be trained for the same. Okay, so basically that was all about the Project Amber. Why it was being launched, we have already discussed which are the organizations which were responsible for the launch of this particular project, which we have already discussed that particular part, and what exactly is the aim and target of this project, we have already discussed that as well. So I hope that this particular project is very much clear to all of you. And now let's move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. And the next question is about the NIPPI research portal. So once again you are required to identify the correct statement in relation with the NIPPI research portal, and then tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer. So my dear learners, see, once again there is a question which is being based on a portal, as I have already mentioned earlier as well, that these portals, projects, schemes, missions which are being launched by the government, they are really very important to be covered. And now when we talk about this NIPPI research portal, here you can see that first statement says that it has been created by the Department of Pharmaceuticals. The second statement says about the aim of this particular portal, that why exactly this particular portal was being launched, that is to disseminate the information about all the NIPPIs and the research activities, patents filed and the publication information in the one place. And the third statement says that the NIPPIs are the institutes of the national importance which imparts post graduation and PhD degrees in the pharmaceutical field. So all these particular statements which are being mentioned here about the NIPPI research portal are correct. And now when we talk about this particular part, see, recently Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya has recently launched the NIPPI research portal, and here this NIPPI stands for the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research Portal. So this particular this particular portal was being created by the Department of Pharmaceuticals. And why exactly it was being launched? It was being launched to enhance the industry academia collaboration as well as to capture the research activities of all the 7 NIPPERs. Okay, so basically what exactly this particular portal will do? See, it is going to disseminate the information about the NIPPERs, whatever activities are being taken place, and it is also going to help them in tracking the research and tasks of all the NIPPERs, and it will enable the industries and other stakeholders to know about them. So basically it was being launched to produce a synergy between these particular institutions as well as industry, and that is how it is going to authenticate the availability of the research work which is being presently going on in these particular NIPPERs. And now when we talk about the impact, that what exactly is going to be the impact of this particular part of launching this portal, see, it is going to help the other researchers and especially the industry to get in touch with the relevant organizations. That means the industry which is working towards particular kind of project and the institute which is also working in the same dimension, then they can just collaborate and they can help each other and cooperate with each other in the better implementation of those particular projects. So that is why this particular portal was being launched. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And here some additional information about the NIPPER have already been mentioned here, that these are the institutes of national importance which imparts the post-graduation and PhD degree in the pharmaceutical field, and apart from that they functions under the aegis of the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers in the Government of India. And when we talk about the very first NIPPER, it was being established in year 1998 and the name of it was SAS Nagar Mohali. So that was all about this particular part, and here the other locations where this particular NIPPER has been launched are also being mentioned here. You can go through them for the value addition. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen, and the next question is also a very interesting one. See, Gas Authority of India Limited, which is basically responsible for the natural gas processing and the distribution in India, has recently commenced and initiated a first of its kind project in India at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And now in this question you are just required to identify that with which of the following this particular project is related to, whether it was about mixing hydrogen into the nuclear energy generator system, or it was about mixing hydrogen into natural gas system, or into the solar energy system, or all of the above are the answer of this particular question. So do answer the question in the comment section below. This is a very basic question which you are required to answer, and the right answer to this question is option B, that is this particular project which has been recently launched by the Gas Authority of India Limited is about mixing hydrogen into natural gas systems. Okay, so basically here you can see that the Gas Authority India Limited has commenced India's first of its kind project of mixing hydrogen into the natural gas system at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. So that was all that you are required to remember from this particular part, and I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now let's move on to the next question, and the next question is once again from the science and technology, and here you can see that what exactly is the first this particular question. The question is, name the first space observatory of its kind which was being recently launched by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration to unlock the secrets of extreme cosmic projects. See, basically to unlock the secrets of the extreme cosmic projects, NASA has come up and launched its very first space observatory for this particular project, and here you are just required to identify that what exactly was the name of this first space observatory. And my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option A, that is Imaging X-ray Polarimetry Explorer. So that was basically the first space observatory which has been recently launched by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration with an aim of unlocking the secrets of the extreme cosmic projects, and that is why this particular project was being launched. Okay, And basically what it is going to do, it is going to study some of the most energetic objects in the universe, that is the remnants of the exploded stars, the powerful particles, jets spewing from feeding black holes, and much more things which will be studied about this particular observatory. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you, and this was a very basic question, and you must know about this particular part, about these kind of developments which are taking place all over the world, in order to answer the question successfully in your ESIC 2021 Deputy Director exam. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question, which is based on the Indian Telegraph Right of Way Amendment Rules 2021. See, we all know that the rules regarding this particular part were being recently notified by the government, and this particular question is basically based on those particular notifications only. And here you are once again required to identify the correct statement in relation with these particular rules, that is Indian Telegraph Right of Way Amendment Rules 2021. So the very first statement says that these rules basically incorporates the provisions related to the nominal one-time compensation and the uniform procedure for the establishment of overground telegraph line in the Indian Telegraph Right of Way Rules 2016. The second statement says that the amount of one-time compensation for the establishment of overground telegraph line will be maximum 1000 rupees per kilometer. The third statement says that there will be minimum fee of rupees 10,000 other than the administrative fee and restoration charges for establishing, maintaining and working, repairing, transferring or shifting the underground and overground telegraph infrastructure. So before discussing the right answer to this question, guys, there is request to all of you, after the session, kindly tell me that how many questions you got corrected from this particular session out of the 15, and let's see that who scores the maximum marks in this particular session, that who among the following have got the maximum questions correct about this particular questions which are being mentioned and we are discussing in this particular session. Okay, so do tell me that in the comment section below after the end of the session. So my dear learners, when we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is option B, that is both statement first and second are correct. So what exactly is wrong about the third statement? It says that there will be a minimum fee of rupees 10,000 other than the administrative fee and the restoration charges, but as per these rules which are being notified by the government, these rules says that there will not be any kind of fee regarding the same, and that is the reason that the third statement is incorrect. Now let's discuss that what exactly these rules were. See, here you can see the Indian Telegraph Right of Way Amendment Rules 2021, which were being notified by the Government of India recently. So basically, why were these being launched? These were being launched to incorporate the provisions related to the nominal one-time compensation and uniform procedure for the establishment of overground telegraph line in the Indian Telegraph Right of Way Rules 2016. And this particular rule said that amount of one-time compensation for the establishment of overground telegraph line will be maximum rupees 1000 per kilometer, and there is not going to be any kind of a fee other than the administrative fee and the restoration charges, but in the question it was mentioned 10,000. So that was the reason that that particular statement was incorrect, and the right answer was we have already discussed. And what exactly is going to be the result of coming up with such kind of rules under the notification of the Indian Telegraph Right of Way Amendment Rules 2021, and that is that these amendments are going to ease the right of way related permission procedures which are being required for the establishment and the augmentation of the digital communication infrastructure across the country, and that is going to be really very beneficial for this communication infrastructure industry in India. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you, and now we are moving towards the next particular question. And next question is about a very important thing, that is the scheme. Okay, so in this particular question you are just required to identify the name of the scheme which has been recently launched by the Prime Minister for children which are being affected with the COVID. So do answer the question in the comment section below, that what exactly is the name of that particular scheme which was being launched. This is once again a very basic question, and now the right answer to this question is PM Cares for Children Empowerment of the COVID Affected Children Scheme. Okay, so basically this particular scheme is PM Cares for Children Empowerment of the COVID Affected Children Scheme for children. Basically this was being launched for the children who have lost both their parents or the surviving parent or the legal guardian or adoptive parents due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So my dear learners, under this particular scheme, what exactly they are going to provide? See, there will be a fixed deposit in the name of the child. A corpus of 10 lakh will be created for the each child when he or she reaches the 18 years of age from the contributions from the PM Cares fund. So basically, this particular corpus of 10 lakh will be established from the PM Cares fund only, and there will be also a monthly financial support which will be provided to the child from 18 years of age for the next 5 years. Okay, and after reaching the 23 years of age, they are going to get the corpus amount as a one lump sum to be used for the regional or professional purpose. But this is not the end. There are health insurance facilities also which will be provided to the children under this particular PM Care for Children Empowerment of COVID affected children scheme. And what exactly these insurance facilities are? All these children which are going to be enrolled, which will be enrolled as a beneficiary under the Ayushman Bharat scheme with the health insurance cover of rupees 5 lakhs. So I hope that about this scheme everything is very much clear to all of you, that why exactly this scheme was being launched and what exactly are the features of this scheme, that what exactly they are going to provide, and what and who among the following is the beneficiary of this particular scheme. This is also very much clear to all of you. And now let's move on to the next particular question of our today's session, and the next question is about the Vaccine Mastery Initiative, one such initiative taken by the government of India. And now you are required to just identify the correct statements in relation with the Vaccine Mastery Initiative. See, this is once again a very important initiative which was being taken by the government. And when we talk about this particular initiative, the three statements mentioned here tells us about that it was initiated by the government on January 20, 2021 in tune with the neighborhood first policy. And what exactly Indian government did under this particular initiative? They basically supplied indigenous COVID-19 vaccines to the other countries, and Bhutan has recently received the first set of vaccine doses under this Vaccine Mastery Initiative. So the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above, as all these statements about the Vaccine Mastery Initiative are correct. And here you can see that why exactly was being used, because government of India recently once again decided to export COVID vaccines from October to December 2021 quarter. And here when we talk about this particular Vaccine Mastery Vaccine Friendship Initiative, then this particular report says that it was initiated by the government on January 20, 2021. And what exactly they were going to do? They were going to supply indigenous COVID-19 vaccines to other countries. Okay, and Bhutan was the country which has received the first set of 1.5 lakh vaccine doses under this Vaccine Mastery Initiative. And some other important data have been mentioned here. You can just go through them on your own for the value addition. And now we are moving towards the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. And this question is basically about the Smart Cities mission. See, we have already told you that all these missions, schemes, projects, portals, initiatives which are being launched by the government, they are really very important. That is the reason that we have filled this particular session with such kind of initiatives which are being taken by the government of India, because all these particular parts are really very important for all of you to remember from the exam point of view, and so that you can answer these questions based on all these particular parts in the exam successfully. All these things are being incorporated in these particular sessions. And now do tell me the right answer in the comment section below about the Smart Cities mission, that what exactly are the statements, these three out of these three statements which are correct in relation with the Smart Cities mission. And the very first statement says that it is a centrally sponsored scheme which was launched in year 2015. The second statement says about the nodal ministry for this particular scheme, that is the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And the third statement says that this mission is going to cover 100 cities and its duration will be 5 years, that is from fiscal year 2015-16 to 2019-2020. And the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. So here you can see that this particular scheme was being launched in year 2015, and the nodal ministry was the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So what exactly was the objective of launching this particular scheme by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs? It was basically to promote the citizens that provide core infrastructure and give a decent quality of life to its citizens, providing them a clean and sustainable environment to live, and there will be application of smart solutions in these particular smart cities, and that is why it is being named as smart cities mission. Okay, so basically they are going to focus on sustainable and inclusive development. And when we talk about the coverage and duration, then this mission is going to cover 100 cities, and its duration will be 5 years, that is from 15-16 to 2019-2020. And the targets of this particular scheme are being mentioned here. You can just go through them. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. And the next question is about the report which was being launched just recently, that is India Press Freedom Report 2021. So do answer the question in the comment section below about this particular report, that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. There are 3 statements are being mentioned here about the India Press Freedom Report 2021. So kindly answer the question in the comment section below. Here the very first statement says that it was being released by the New Delhi based rights group, rights and risk analysis group. The second statement is talking about the highest number of journalists or the media organizations which are being targeted. The third statement says that in 2021, a total of 121 journalists and media houses and newspapers were targeted across the country. So do answer the question in the comment section below, that which one of the following statements are correct in relation with the India Press Freedom Report 2021, and the right answer is option B, that is both statement 1 and 3 are correct. So basically the second statement is incorrect, and what exactly is incorrect, we are going to discuss this in the upcoming slides. So here you can see, basically this particular report was being launched, and the title of the report was India Press Freedom Report 2021, launched by the Rights and Risk Analysis Group. Okay, and this particular report basically tells us about the attacks on the press freedom in India, basically on the journalists, and it records the various incidents such as the arrest and detentions of the journalists taken place in year 2021, the registration of FIRs against these journalists, the physical attacks or the threats or the killing of these journalists which took place in year 2021. And when we talk about that which state or union territory has topped in these particular attacks, that means in which state or union territory maximum such kind of instances were being recorded against these journalists in year 2021. And here you can see the whole list about the same, that is Jammu and Kashmir was on the top with the 25 number of such instances, followed by Uttar Pradesh on the second position, Madhya Pradesh on the third position with 16 such instances, followed by Tripura and Delhi on the 5th position on with 8 instances which are being recorded against the journalists or media organizations in year 2021. So here you can see the important findings, which says that a total of 121 journalists and media houses and newspapers were targeted across the country in year 2021. Out of them, 108 were journalists and 13 were the media houses newspapers. And my dear learners, the laws that were mostly invoked against these journalists are also being mentioned here, that is it was related to the sedition, wantonly giving provocation with the intent to cause riots in the society, promoting enmity between the religious groups, the imputations or assertions which were prejudicial to the national integration. So all such kind of laws were invoked against these journalists in year 2021. Okay, so I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And here some other important part has been mentioned here, that what exactly was the basic reason that the Enforcement Directorate and the Income Tax Department has also raided the offices of such media houses or newspapers and houses of journalists. And the main reason was that they were critical of the policies and functioning of the government. So my dear learners, that was all from that particular report, and I really believe that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And do not forget to tell me in the comment section below that what exactly was your score out of 15 in this particular session, that how many questions you just got corrected out of 15 in this particular today's session. So I hope that you must have enjoyed this particular session, and if you are having any queries, you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. So thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.